On Saturday at 4 p.m., Serena Williams will play Bianca Andreescu in the women's singles final of the United States Open. Here are some key storylines for the match. Check back here for live updates. The match will be broadcast by ESPN. This is Williams's fourth Grand Slam final since she returned to tennis in February 2018 after the birth of her daughter. Every time, she has had a chance to tie Margaret Court's record for most Grand Slam singles titles, 24. Every time, Williams has lost. In fact, she has not won any tournament since the 2017 Australian Open. Williams's recent Grand Slam finals: 2019 Wimbledon vs Simona Halep, 2018 US Open vs Naomi Osaka, 2018 Wimbledon vs Angelique Kerber. That is not the only record in the mix on Saturday. With a win, Williams would have a record 7 singles titles at the US Open, breaking her tie with Chris Evert. It would also break her tie with Evert for most singles victories at the tournament. She would have 102 to Evert's 101. Williams will turn 38 this month. Andreescu turned 19 in June and had not yet been born when Williams won her first Grand Slam title, at the US Open in 1999. This will be the biggest age gap in a women's Grand Slam singles final in the Open era, which began in 1968. The gap is more than a year wider than the 17 years, 45 days that separated Martina Navratilova from the teenage phenom Monica Seles in the 1991 US Open final, won by Seles. Just a year ago, there was a 16-year gap when Williams lost to 20-year-old Naomi Osaka in an Open final. Williams is the oldest women's Grand Slam singles finalist in the Open era. Andreescu is playing only her fourth major tournament and is playing her first Grand Slam final. Williams and Andreescu have one previous meeting. It lasted 19 minutes. On August 11, after a great deal of build-up, Williams and Andreescu played in the final of the Rogers Cup in Toronto. Williams fell behind by 3-1 and then retired from the match because of a back injury that she had developed in her semi-final match the day before. My whole back just completely spasmed, and to a point where I couldn't sleep and I couldn't really move, she said. And so I was just trying to figure out, how do you play a match where you have no rotation? Andreescu, who grew up in the Toronto suburbs, was the first Canadian woman in 50 years to win the event. The men's final on Sunday between Rafael Nadal and Daniil Medvedev also happens to be a rematch of a Rogers Cup final.